Hey there, welcome back to Focus on Winning. This is Ashraf. Today I'll be talking about how to make six figures on Virtual Summit. And I can't wait to talk about this because I'm bringing the real expert on this topic. And the guest that I'm bringing today is Bailey Richard. And
Hi
if you
there.
don't and if you don't know who Bailey is, she is a business coach who helps individuals launch and grow a profitable online enterprises as infopreneurs. She's also an infopreneur who earns six figures every year. She has been featured in major media outlets including HuffPost, TEDx, Forbes, and so much more. And she also has earned the ClickFunnels 2 Comma Club Award for managing Russell Brunson's 30days.com virtual summit, which grows over seven figures in sales in less than 2 weeks. How awesome is that? So, without wasting any more time, let's jump in.
So the real question is this: how would an entrepreneur like us, who literally start from nothing or has limited resources and yet still wants to build an empire, join Ashraf as he answers this big question so you can apply it too? Welcome to Focus on Winning.
Bailey, say what's up to our listeners and tell us one of the best things that ever happened in your entrepreneurial life.
Hi. Well, thank you so much for having me. And wow, trying to pick one best thing that's happened in my entrepreneurial career is difficult. But I think one of the things that you mentioned is definitely something I have to highlight, especially because we're talking about summits. I had an
Yeah.
opportunity to work with Russell Brunson, the co-founder and CEO of ClickFunnels, and we did his 30days.com summit last year in 2018. And it's been an incredible journey working on that project. And certainly so many of the things that came out of that project for my own business have been absolutely incredible.
Oh wow. I love the way you interview 30 people on affiliate and 30days.com.
Yes. So that's exactly what the 30days.com summit was. Russell picked 30 different individuals from his 2 comma club group, people who had already won over, made over $1 million from a funnel in their business and had won the 2 comma club award. And we interviewed them about how, if they lost their business, what they would do to get it back up and running in 30 days. Not necessarily to make $1 million in 30 days, but just if you lost it all, how would you kind of get restarted again in 30 days? And that's why it was called the 30 Days Summit. So it was a really fun project to do. And I learned a ton because so many of the individuals on that project that I interviewed, they're not doing info products like I am. I'm a business coach for infopreneurs. I teach people
Hmm.
how to create and sell information products like ebooks and online courses and things. But on the 30days.com summit, we had people that were doing affiliate marketing and t-shirt funnels and e-commerce and other things that I'm not so into. So it was really fun. And I mean, like I said, there's so many amazing things that came out of it for my own business. I learned a ton from interviewing everybody on the summit. People started to see me as the queen of virtual summits. I became a lot more
Wow.
well known in the ClickFunnels community. Russell
Hmm.
then asked me if I wanted to speak on virtual summits at Funnel Hacking Live this past year, February 2019 in Nashville. I had said yes to
Hmm.
that and I got a chance to speak. So a lot of really fantastic things came out of that.
That's really amazing thing about you that I don't even know. And I'm sure you have a lot of story that you would like to share with us. But as I already mentioned in the intro, we are gonna talk about how to make six figures on virtual summit. So Bailey, virtual summit is still new to some people because it's virtual, is just from home, right? So I want to start off with the meaning of virtual summit. What does it mean to you?
Sure. So a virtual summit is basically an online conference. If you think about what a real conference in person is, you buy a plane ticket, you go to a hotel, you sit in a room and you listen to a bunch of speakers give presentations, you take notes, then you go home and you try to implement the things that you learned into your business and your life. Well, an online conference, a virtual summit is basically the same thing, only the people attending the conference and the speakers, nobody has to fly anywhere. The entire thing is done online. So if you're the one that's
Mhm.
hosting the virtual summit, you're the host, and you're going to bring together a group of individuals to be your guest speakers. The difference, one of the major differences with virtual summits, though, is that I recommend that you do pre-recordings of your interviews. The truth is that even in 2019 going into 2020, the technology for live video is not really that great. And so
Mhm.
pre-recording is going to ensure you're going to get excellent video. You can make sure you're putting your best foot forward when it comes to the content that you create for your summit. And if I'm being honest, sometimes speakers can be flaky or things come up and they might not show up for their speech,
Mhm.
and we don't want
Yeah.
that. So making sure everything is pre-recorded, ensures that you have all the content you need for your event. So you're going to pre-record all those interviews. And then what will happen is you and the speakers will come together and promote the event together for several weeks, 3 or 4 weeks or so. And you'll get everybody in your own audiences on your email lists, all of your social media followers to come and register for the virtual summit. And that's how you that's how you as the host can grow your own email list, is because you have all of these other speakers that are promoting your event to their audiences. So you're reaching a lot of new people. And you can also sell things through that summit funnel to your audience as well, courses and ebooks and other things like that. So virtual summits are an incredible way to grow that email list. Sometimes they're often called lead generation events for that very reason.
Mhm.
But there's so many other benefits as well. I already mentioned that you could sell things and make revenue, but I think that there's things that a lot of people don't even consider, which are super beneficial to your business. One of them is the authority that you get from having your own event and from being on an event with all of these other incredible people who also have authority. Just because your face is next to them on your virtual summit website, it says to people, hey, these two experts are similar in their authority and influence. So it can really help you grow your authority in your space as an expert. And then just forming those relationships with the other influencers who are your guest speakers is really incredible. After the virtual summit is over, we always, all my speakers and I, we get together and we say, how can we still help each other even after the summit is finished? Anybody that has a podcast will basically have the other guests on to do podcast interviews and YouTube interviews and guest blog posts. And even some of the people that I've had on my summit before have gone on together to do things like write books together and launch programs together. And I think that's fantastic. So there are tons of other benefits that come from doing a summit for your business as well.
And I like that you talk about the pre-recorded, because I thought that virtual summit is all live, right? And if it's live, how do you invite people? Is it like webinar?
Right. If it is live, you do have a couple of options. The webinar option is there, but I personally would choose to do something more like doing a live video in a social media platform where you're already growing an audience. So if you do a
Mhm.
webinar, you're likely going to need some sort of other webinar software, right? Whether it's Zoom or something like that in order to run those webinars. But if you had a Facebook group, for example, why couldn't you just do your live videos as Facebook Lives inside of the Facebook group and try to get more people into your group and try to get more people really excited, about being a part of your community. Plus, if you have an international audience, which most of us do these days because, the internet is all over the world, right? So if you have an
Mhm.
international audience, even though your interviews might be live, you're probably going to want to leave the recordings up for at least a day, right? So that
Mhm.
everybody has an opportunity, no matter where they live in the world, to watch those videos. And so if you did like a Facebook Live, it would be so much easier for you just to record the Facebook Live and then to leave the recording up in your group. And then you would be able to, let everybody else see it.
So one of the key points that I want to highlight is that The advantage of doing virtual summit is that we can save time and save money. Even if we are not meeting with people in a face-to-face, we can still meet them virtually. And I think this is one of the most effective ways to connect with people all around the world, whether it's high-level people or the people that we want to connect. So virtual summit is really effective to this kind of things, which is connecting, saving time and money, and also saving energy.
Absolutely. I mean, as I mentioned before, a virtual summit is very similar to a live conference, but how many entrepreneurs and infopreneurs who are just getting their businesses started really have the startup capital to do a live event? The things that you have to pay for, the hotel room, the ballroom, or the conference rooms where you're going to meet, usually having, paying for signs, and you had to pay the hotel a certain amount of money for staff, or if you want to have your speakers for dinner the first night and you want to pay for their dinner, and there's
Yeah.
all these extra costs and transportation and all these other sorts of things. You have to pay for a sound guy and a lighting guy and someone to record it and all this other sort of stuff. And I mean, live events are amazing. I mean, you can do a lot of really great business and stuff with live events, but with the reality is that so many people that are just getting started in business just don't have the startup money that they need to make that happen. They probably won't for a couple of years. And so a virtual summit can basically be a really great alternative where you can do everything online, reach a really big audience, and do some really great things for your business without having to have all of that huge amount of money getting started.
All right, now that they know what Summit is, what the good thing about Summit, how it works, and they might want to start their own virtual summit, but they don't know how. So, Bailey, how about you walk us through step-by-step process on how to prepare for virtual summits?
Sure. So I recommend that you take about 90 days to host your virtual summit. If you need a little bit longer and you want to do about 120 days, which is 4 months, that's okay. But the
Whoa.
truth is that anything longer than about 3 or 4 months is just going to be too long, because your speakers are not going to stay engaged with you, for 6 months or something to do this project. They prefer shorter timelines, and you really want to get your thing going. So I recommend a 90-day process for launching your virtual summit. And I have a 12-step process for getting your virtual summit launched. And because 90 days is 3 months, I've divided those 12 steps into 3 separate phases. So there's 4 steps in each phase. The first phase is all about planning. You actually have to sit down and work out the logistics of your virtual summit. What will it be called? What will the website or domain name of your summit be? What are the topics that you want to cover, for each speaker on this event? Who is it that you want to invite to be a guest? What technology do you already have in your own business that you'll be able to use to host this summit? Or do you need to buy some other equipment, whether that's, a microphone or a webcam or, new software, things like that. And then towards the end of phase 1, you will start doing some speaker outreach. You will start inviting some people to participate as a guest speaker in your summit. Then we move into phase number 2, which is called the creating phase. So during phase 2, you're going to be building all of the tech that you need in order to host your summit. So number 1, you're going to be doing recordings with all of your speakers and getting those videos ready, uploading them to your video host like Vimeo or Wistia, things like that. You're also going to be building out the virtual summit registration and sales funnel. So you're going to have, whether it's ClickFunnels or something like that. ClickFunnels is what I use, but you're going to need a sales funnel software that will allow people to opt in with their email address so that they can register for your event. And then you can try to sell them things like your all access pass or your ebooks or courses and things like that. You're also going to need to have a membership area, which just basically means that people who upgrade or buy one of your digital products are going to be able to access their, purchases. So that's important. If you've ever hosted an online course before, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. A membership area where people can log in and access their course and their products. Then we move into phase number 3, which is all about launching and promoting your summit. So for, like I said, a phase is about a month. So that's about 4 weeks. So in the launching phase, you're going to take about the first 3 weeks to do all of the promotion. And then the final week is going to be when you execute your actual event. Now, just to clarify how that kind of works, when I say execute your event, I mean actually launch, actually host the event. So for the first 3 or 4 weeks before that, you're doing the promotion. So you and the speakers are going out together onto the internet, out to your email lists, onto your social media platforms, and you're promoting the event. And you're saying, hey, in 3 weeks, we're going to host this event, this virtual summit, but you need to register. And that's how you'll get the information about how to watch. And so people will register and then get an email from you through the sales funnel about how to watch. Then you actually host the event when you said you were going to. Just a couple of days is all you need. Monday to Wednesday, Monday to Thursday. You don't need to do some long 21-day summit or something like that. That's really unnecessary. And then what you'll do is you will post those videos that you've either pre-recorded, or if you are going to do them live, then you'll do them live in your Facebook group or on that webinar software like we were talking about. And you'll post those videos. But here's the thing, you have to only post them for a limited period of time, because the incentive for people to upgrade in your summit funnel to the all access pass is that they will be able to get unlimited lifetime access to the virtual summit interviews plus additional bonus content. Your summit is very much like a live conference, which is not available every day of the year. It's only a couple of days a year. And so you only want to have those videos available for a short period of time. So every day of the summit, I post some new videos from each one of my speakers, and they're only up for 24 hours. You want to do at least 24 hours because you want people all around the world to be able to watch no matter what time zone they're in. You want to be fair. But once those 24 hours is over, you want to take them down and say, hey, the viewing time for these videos has expired, but if you want lifetime access, you can upgrade to the all access pass. Now, we haven't really talked too much about the all access pass, but basically what that is a membership area. It's kind of like an online course, but instead of you creating the videos for your course, basically the videos are all of the interviews that you've done for your summit. This is usually what we call the front end offer inside of your summit funnel, meaning it's the first thing you try to get people to buy. So people register for the summit for free with their email address. And then you say, hey, thanks so much for registering with your email address for the free summit. Would you like to upgrade for a small amount of money, $47, $57, $97, to get lifetime access to all of the videos, plus these awesome additional bonuses? And you'll have a certain percentage of people who will upgrade and a lot won't. And then after that, you can launch and try to sell other products to them, an online course or something that you have.
Wow. Bailey just dropped massive value bombs right in front of us. And I think this is one of the most valuable golden nuggets that I ever got in a podcast. To our listeners, Bailey Richert just shared with you a step-by-step process on how to create virtual summits. So I really suggest you to come back to this episode again and listen and then apply everything that Bailey just shared to us.
Hey, thank you for listening. We hope you can implement everything from this episode. And would you like to know more about business strategies and life hacks that you can apply right now? If so, subscribe to this podcast so you can become the best you.